Hello, everyone. My name is Michelle M. Trey Hollis, and this is Five Star Conversations in the Sun City. I am super happy to be here and to introduce you to Diego Lucero. He is here in El Paso with me and an amazing person, very multifaceted, as we can expect people to be in the culinary from the culinary arts, right?
Yeah, no, thank you so much. Yeah.
I'm so happy that you're here. And so, first and foremost, I kind of want to start off a little different. Um, uh, I want people to know who you are, but I first want people to know who you are through the EXP. Okay, the
No, yeah.
EXP is the experience. That's what that stands for, right?
Yeah, the experience. Yeah, exactly.
Awesome. Tell us a
Yeah,
little bit
yeah.
more about that.
Yeah, so the eXp, the experience, that's a company that I just started with my brother. And really it was a way for us to do what we love and a way to serve the community doing what we love, you know? So I love food. Food has been my passion since I was young. And Joaquin, my brother, he's been in love with music, you know? I mean, we both love music for sure. I mean, all of us do. You too. I know you love music.
I do. I
But
do.
that's his passion. And so we're like, well, let's do something so we can, go out to people and show what we can do and serve the people, serve the community. And that's what we do. So we're doing pop-ups around El Paso where I make food and then my brother plays music and it's what we love to do, and I think people are gonna love to be a part of it. It's an experience, it's not a service. When you're there you feel something like, wow, I don't know what's going on, but I love this. There's food, there's music, and then sometimes we'll have art involved and spirits, cocktails. So there's a lot of ways we can go with this, but yeah, we're just getting started, so we're the experience. Yeah.
Well, congratulations. I am super happy for you. And, I got to actually experience the experience last
Yeah,
week.
yeah.
So I would love for you to talk a little bit more um, about how you created that experience because it was very unique. It was something
Hmm.
I wasn't expecting, but it definitely was very delightful. So before, let me give it just a quick backstory.
Hmm.
Um,
Hmm.
I went to their launch party to Diego and Joaquin, your brother. I went
Hmm.
to their launch party last week, and I didn't know really what to expect. Um,
Yeah.
which I kind of I really liked that. That was pretty cool. But I would get there, and it's on Montana, and it looked like a house. I'm like, oh, is this a house party?
Yeah,
But
yeah, yeah.
I'm like, okay, this is okay.
Mhm.
This is getting more intriguing. But I would love for you to tell everyone like who you partnered with even to create this experience, because I think that is really a neat opportunity because that really goes to show the community and how we can create these experiences together.
Hmm. Hmm. Yeah, I mean, it was really insane, all the parts that had to come, for this to happen. But I'm so grateful that it did. It was just at first it was just a vision. Like I want to. At first, it just started with I want to shoot this video. I want to shoot this video that has, and this was when we were at another studio, closer to downtown. The one you went to this past Saturday was the new studio we just moved into, but
Okay.
um this guy, his name's Eddie, and he runs Just Us, which is another company, and his company is almost like ours, but he's pushing the creative arts, and so he has spaces. He has creative spaces where what he wants people to do is, you go to this space, and if you have art you want to display, if you have music you want to display, this is a place to do it. So that's the first.
Is that the place that we were at?
Mhm. Mhm. Yeah,
Okay.
that
Is this a new
so,
art gallery, or is this the
yeah.
one that's called Just Us?
Just Us, uh-huh. It's the Just
Wow.
Us gallery, yeah. So we
Okay.
just and that's with Eddie. So I'm involved with him, and he's just like a very driven guy. He's a young guy, but he's like yourself, he connects people, like, and we're super grateful. So he had this space available, and I was like, hey, we want to do a release showing. Can we do it? And he's like, yeah. And so there in that studio, he has art from local artists.
Yeah, really
Um,
nice, really
two,
cool.
two right now. Yeah, we have a guy who makes masks, and then another guy's name's Cody, and he just makes very cool, fractal like art. So
Don't
that
get me
was that
started on the fractal. I love that. It's
the
amazing.
geometry. Yeah, no, I know
Yeah,
the
that
geometry.
sacred geometry,
Uh,
right? Which
and
kind
so
of like, not to interrupt you, but that kind of makes me look towards your logo
yeah.
and ask you what
Mhm.
that is exactly.
No, I mean, yeah, I just created that. I've always loved fractals, the idea of a self-repeating pattern, which is
Yeah.
that's what I feel like life is.
Yes, it
And,
is.
and it just came up, and I did some tweaks, I used the software, I did some tweaks, and I just thought it was so cool, and when I showed it to my parents, they also they had their own story when they saw the symbol, and I'm like, wow, if people can create their own, this is what it means to me, just looking at squares and circles, and it fires something in the brain. So
Right.
that was special to me. But
Can you
no,
can you tell us what came up for your parents or your mom or when
yeah,
they
yeah.
saw
So
that?
one thing they said that I really liked, that it said, because you can see there in the circle, there's one part of the circle is smaller and then it gets larger. And he said, it's kind of like the squares are the experience. And so you come in at one end, you know, a little bit closed, and then you go through it, and then you come out, and you have like a, I don't know, like a new appreciation for life, or whatever it may whatever happens to you, because for everybody it triggers something different. When
I
you
love that.
Mhm.
That is so
Yeah, yeah,
true because like when you really
yeah.
think about that, I can see
Hmm.
that almost kind of like a maze of sorts. You're kind of going in and then you're going through that
Yeah,
experience and
yeah,
coming out the
exactly.
other end.
Amazed. I didn't think
I
about the
l-
maze.
Yes,
Mhm.
I love that. Well, that was a great. I'm glad we dug a little deeper in that
No,
because
no, no,
that was
thanks
really
for-
cool. But so now Eddie, he owns this art studio that we had that you had your video launch debut at.
Mhm, mhm.
I love the way that you set it up. By the way, I did want to tell you
Thank
that
you. Yeah.
because again, you said there was a cinematic debut, but we didn't know what it was. So I really did like that.
Yeah.
And I
Mhm.
was like, okay, is this? I was like, is this a reality TV show that he's launching?
What's gonna happen to us wherever I go? No, I know you're asking me questions. Do I bring food or drink? What's going on? Yeah, yeah. But
Right.
it was, I mean, I did, and actually for that invitation I sent you, that was created by a coworker of mine, where she made a flyer, and I was like, wow, you do a great job at the way you communicate on a flyer. So I asked her if she could put it together for me, and I gave her all the description of what the event was, but I told her put as least amount you can put in there. Like, I want very little information, you know?
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
that was exciting. Like I asked for the
Mhm.
day off. I'm like, I gotta go to this thing, man. So that was
Yeah.
really, really cool. And so Eddie, he owns a studio. There's some
Yeah.
other
So
artists there. Were they all
mhm.
there?
Yeah.
Because there was a lot of people. Of course, I didn't really know anyone besides you, which is
Yeah. Yeah.
great. That
Hmm.
was like a really big gift, and I thank you for
No, yeah.
inviting me.
And thank you for coming. I wanted you to be a part of this, and I'm glad you went and got to watch the video with us, and taste the beers by Blazing Tree. So yeah,
Right.
actually going, another person that was part of this was Adrian. He was
Mm-hmm.
with Blazing Tree Brewery, a brewery here in El Paso on Rojas, and it's just amazing. He also donated some beers to us for the event so we can try it. Bodega Loya, a farm in Socorro, donated
Yes.
a watermelon and a gift card so we could raffle it out. Who else? Carlo, who is another part of Just Us. He's our videographer, and
Okay.
he just does amazing work. He's done work for Bodega Loya, me, um, some people in politics. Like he's smart. He's a smart guy.
Yeah,
And then
and
of course
the
Joaquin
music, the musician, is that Savage?
Savage. Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, he's
That's
good.
another.
He
Yeah,
was
I mean,
playing
there was so
really
many
good
people that
music.
contributed to this. Like, I'm so grateful. Yeah, Savage. That's another one of my friends. He DJ'd. Joaquin, my brother, he played.
Hmm.
Well, what he did the art. He put the tape on the art, because one of the for the people that didn't go, we had this we had 9 canvas, and we put them together, and then we put our logo on it, and then we had the people who came to our event, paint over it. And that was a way for
That
you
was
to be
fun.
involved, to be integrated with the experience, and maybe you're going through something, and then you do something in the art that kind of helps you release some of these bagged emotions, or who knows, what I mean, or you just want to draw some. I just put my name, because I was like, I'll put my name.
Well, no,
But yeah.
I love
Hmm.
that though, because that did add an element of engagement
Hmm.
that you don't see at events very often. And
Yeah, yeah.
that was such a creative and um, a creative solution to just say, hey,
I
get
like
jump
that.
in, get involved, be a part of this
And
memory with us.
exactly. And on that note, I have to shout out my cousin Ashley and my sister Mandy, and because before the event I was speaking with them, hey, I'm doing this event and I want to get the people involved somehow. I want them to do, and they gave me ideas, both of them. So thank you, Ashley and Mandy, for that help. And so many people contributed to this, everyone who showed up too and was there to be a part of it. And
Yeah,
I was
it was
so
nicely
grateful.
attended.
Yeah, thank
Now I want to go back to Adrian also with Blazing Tree, because and to Savage. Savage seems like he does a lot of work around, right?
you.
Like
Yeah, yeah,
he's
yeah.
pretty
He
well.
He DJs at this venue 1111 in the Northeast, but it's super cool, and
I've
he DJ
heard of that.
parties.
I've heard that's
Hmm.
the new rave spot.
Yeah, it's cool. I like it. It's bigger. There's lights. It's a cool place.
Is it like
But
a
yeah,
it's like a
probably.
dance, it's like a true dance spot, right? Is that from what
Mhm.
I've heard? Is it like,
Yeah,
is it kind of,
yeah.
I mean, is it like dress up, or is it like, I mean, I guess probably a little
Mm,
bit of
some
everything, but
nights. Yeah, yeah. I mean, it's it's like an indoor space for bigger artists who come to El Paso,
oh,
and
okay.
I like it. It's a cool spot. And actually, Savage, speaking about Savage, he went to college with me, so he's in the same degree that I'm in, the engineering. So he's another engineer, but he's doing what he loves as well, which is music. So
I love it.
yeah,
So I do want to step back a little bit, because that was just a lot of information, and
I know.
and I love that though, because
Hmm.
I want, that's something that I'm loving to share here, is that collaboration is such a beautiful gift, and there's so much talent here.
Hmm. Hmm.
Imagine, you know, imagine us inviting, us inviting thousands of people to those types of experiences. Imagine
Yeah,
a
yeah.
company, a corporate event,
Artists. Yeah.
a corporate event having an experience like that, where it's all local, very
Hmm. Hmm.
locally enriched. I just believe
Yeah,
that
I love
that
that.
is an amazing opportunity for both the corporate world to engage the community and the art community, the
Yeah, yeah.
culinary community,
That's
and then
great.
also it's an opportunity for them to have that experience for their employees.
And and that's two different worlds that would go great together. I never thought about that really, like corporate doing like some sort of employee event where you get to do art and music and there's food, because yeah, I mean, at my company we just had like a corporate event, and it was cool. We did paintball at some apartments because I'm with housing, so we had these apartments closed out. We were doing a paintball, and it was like our little employee event, and that was
Hmm.
amazing. But I'm like, if they would have taken us to some convention center and they would have had artists and food and music, wow,
And
that would have been. I
think
would have loved
about
that.
what you like just demonstrated also, with that
Mhm.
engagement piece. Now you've got everyone that, like, now that's a piece they could take and like hang in there. That's a culture piece for their business. I mean, or just any
Mhm.
event.
Mhm.
Any event, that's a memory for the wedding. You know what I mean? Like, there's so many different ways to apply that. What happened to that? How did it turn out?
What
The painting.
oh yeah, it's awesome. It's actually right here.
Oh my gosh, I want to see
Maybe I
it.
should
One
show
of these.
it up.
Well, if I
Yeah,
don't
we're
want to
gonna
ruin your
so
setup.
so no. So yeah, my brother and I were still gonna do some touches on the painting, and then yeah, who knows? I mean, something's gonna happen with that painting. Like we had all the people that were there part of that first event painted it. We're part of that painting, and it's our logo. So yeah, we don't know what we're gonna do with it yet, but something's coming.
Yeah, I love it. I love it.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
and
But
that's the beauty of art as
mhm.
well. It's also the beauty of culinary art is that it never stops. Like you always are going to have to eat. You know what I mean? You're always
Yeah,
going to have
yeah.
to eat, you
You're always
know.
gonna eat.
We're always going to
Yeah, you're
want
always gonna
to
eat. And
we're always going to want to listen to
it's just
music and
yeah.
be
I mean,
together and
there's
yeah.
yeah. I mean, when you eat, eating is like such a and food is like such a special thing because it's like that's when you get together with your family or a group of friends and you know they're enjoying something that tastes so good together. Like it brings you together like in a different like on a higher level in a way. So
Mhm.
and that's what
Mhm.
music does too. You know, if you really immerse
Yes.
yourself in music and you're not worried about what others think about you and you're just in the moment with the music, you're on a higher level, you know? And food does
Yes,
the
I
same
do.
thing, you know? And so
What's
in a
really
way that's
cool
kind of
about it is how you know these are senses that do embed in your memory like on a you know mental level, you know, now you're ingraining your memory with an
mhm,
event, you know, you're putting the music together, you're putting the tastes, the smells, you know, you're really engaging the sight, the sound, the touch. I mean, you all
mhm.
really did bring all of the senses into the experience. So
Yeah, that's
um
great. That's what we were
so
trying to do.
you really did, and you did a great job. So one of the things I do want to make sure, I would love to hear a little bit more about the experience now, and I think we should start with um, your background. How long have you been in love with creating food? You know, why
Mm-hmm.
is that important to you, and when did that start?
Dang, well, definitely. I mean, when I was a child, you know, my dad teaching me how to cook. That was yeah, it's like core memories right there. But yeah, my dad taught me how to cook and you know, since I was young. And we grew up in this house that we're in right now. Thankfully we're still here and you know, there's videos, there's family videos of me in the kitchen back here, um, chucking or shucking corn. How do you say? Shucking corn?
Yeah, shucking corn.
Yeah, shucking corn and yeah, definitely started with my dad showing me and then in high school I was in the culinary arts club. Um I was the president and then in of the club and then we did for Skills USA we did some competitions. So I did competitions here in El Paso and then the state one which was in Corpus Christi. So that was a lot of fun, you know. And while I was in high
Wow,
school,
so you like really you are about it with the food. Okay,
no, yeah, I
okay.
mean, honestly, I think I found that whichever way I could get involved, that's what I did, you know.
Yeah.
Um, so when I was in this club in high school, we did this event in the convention center where like all the restaurants in El Paso go, and then we were volunteering the high school students, and they we went to this room. They assigned us tasks, and then my task was to like pour drinks and get napkins, I think, and I was like. No, like I came to cook. Like I want to
Right. You're
be
like,
with the
don't
food.
yeah, don't give me the floor sweeper job.
Mhm, mhm. No, actually, it was front of the house. But we need front of the house. You know, like you
This
know,
is
they're
true.
very important to the customer's experience. You know, front of the house is very crucial.
It sure
And
is, yeah.
so, but not to take away from them. But I wanted to cook. You know, so
Right.
I saw this guy, this big guy walking with he had Crave right here, and I was like, "Do you guys need help?" Because I want to cook. And then it was actually the chef from Crave, Rudy Valdez,
Oh,
that I ran into.
wow.
Mhm. And so he's like, "Yeah, come help us." So I went with him right away so I could cook, and that kind of what was my beginning in the kitchen, you know. Because after that, they hired me. Well, I interned for them for a couple of months. I would go after school and learn how to cook there because
Mhm.
Crave is a it's a local restaurant, but I like
Mhm.
them because um all their food is from scratch, you know?
Love
So
that.
being
Love
there,
that.
I can learn, you know, how to use flour, how to make sauces, roux, gravies, hollandaise, you know? I could learn how to make all, so it was
Yeah.
such a great experience for me.
So
And I stayed for
I think I
4
may have
years.
missed something, and I do apologize about that.
Mhm.
Where were you when this happened? When you first met, you were at an event from school during school, or
Well,
okay,
there's an event that El Paso has in the convention center. I think it's called the 100 Best, something along that, where they get the
oh, okay,
best restaurants in El Paso.
okay,
And so they got this event got volunteers from the high school to come help them. And so that's how I
gotcha. Okay, awesome. You know that, and that reminds me that that there's. I don't know if you know about this, but you definitely should go if you have the opportunity and get a ticket. I think the tickets actually just went on sale today. It's called One Region, One Table with Progress
mm,
321. And
hmm
I'll be helping with that. I'm on the volunteer board of that, or maybe you might want to volunteer with us. You know,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
you're welcome
So I
to.
can get in there. So I can get in
Yeah,
there.
yeah, because the same premise. Um, there's going to be several chefs there, you know, and they're going to be there's I believe it's 10 or 11 course meal, and it's going to be at the
No
convention.
way.
Yeah, it's actually,
Okay, yeah.
it's everything. So yeah,
Yeah.
you're welcome to
We'll go
come.
there.
Yeah, you want to go? Okay, awesome.
Yeah, yeah,
I'll
yeah.
go ahead and
When is that?
get that set
When
up.
is it?
That's going to be on, that's on September 16th.
Okay, awesome.
Yeah, so that's
Yeah,
a
let's
month.
do it. That's great. That's so
Okay.
great.
Okay,
10 course
awesome.
meal, dang.
Yeah, I'll plug you in,
Right,
but
man.
all of the different chefs are just providing one course each,
Wow. I love
and
that.
it's
No,
gonna be
thanks for
really
letting me
beautiful.
know about that. That's so cool.
Yeah, you know that's funny. I'm glad I clarified because I was like, what exactly is that? So it sounds like
Mhm.
a similar, kind of a similar
Yeah.
event, but this is actually like a 450 person seated event.
Dang,
Yeah.
no way.
So it's gonna be like it's gonna be table
Well,
service,
I'm glad you told me about that. Yeah,
wine
that's crazy.
pairings.
I had no idea.
Yeah, it'll be
Wine
perfect.
pairings?
Yeah.
No way.
Yeah, so
Wow.
it'll be awesome. So I'll definitely let you know when we have our next meeting so you can come, okay?
Okay.
Um, but what I also want to know is, so fast forward, you know, so actually, I mean, there's so much history in there that like
I know.
we'd have to
Yeah,
have
yeah.
like 10 hours to talk about, to really break everything down. But what I love the most and why I'm so happy that we're having this conversation is that you are a person who gets out into the community, who meets people, who recognizes, like, hey, I can add, like, even from that young age in high school, like, I can add value. What can I learn from you? That
Exactly.
that is such an important, I believe, you know, that's such an important skill. Just even the fact that like you're like, oh, I would love to come volunteer at this event. Like these are the ways that people get, this is how we get involved in the community beyond just like trying to sell a product, you know what I mean? But really getting connected, figuring out what the marketplace wants,
hmm hmm
you know?
Yeah, what they need. Yeah, I don't know. Like expand on that. What the marketplace wants.
Yes. In other words, for instance, okay, like you're talking about Crave,
hmm
and the chef there, what's his name?
Rudy Valdez. Yeah,
Rudy
yeah.
Valdez. Okay, I really should
hmm
know his name. So Rudy Valdez. I'm very aware of the, you know, of the concepts and that they are involved with, including the new Chiaquia's place or whatnot. Have you heard of that?
GS? No, I haven't seen it. But yeah, they're always opening new restaurants and
Yeah. No,
cafes.
I think it's like a Chiaquia's place. I think is what it's called.
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah.
They
I don't
started
know.
that. So
I
I
think
know.
it's called Buen Dia. Buen Dia, something,
Buendia, yeah, and
right?
I
Okay.
have not been there yet. I actually haven't been to Crave yet either, to be honest. And here's what's interesting. I love
hmm
that you spoke about the fact that they make, you know, everything from scratch. That's so
hmm
important. Those types
hmm
of details make all the difference. They make a difference in whether someone wants to, you know, I think first of all they make a difference in our community,
hmm
you know,
hmm
and it does go to show the places that are successful, the people that are able to open these brands and be successful, they typically
and
use
grow. Yeah.
and grow. They typically have that going for them. Wouldn't you say that they use more holistic ingredients, I feel like.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, they tend to be well, you know, now you brought it up, I think that's important because I don't think a lot of people know about, holistic practices or in food especially,
Hmm.
I don't think people stop and think like, okay, what am I eating?
You're right. And
And
that's why I
that's
love that you mentioned that. That's why I'm like, you're
mhm,
definitely a true, like, you're a true
yeah.
culinary guy, you know,
No,
because you're thinking
and
of like the sauces and how to make them. And, I
yeah,
know
yeah.
there's like these base sauces like Mornay sauce and, the
Mhm.
different kinds
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
of sauces
Hollandaise,
and
yeah.
hollandaise and
Oh,
just hearing you talk about those and that being something that you take as valuable that you bring into your, that you've been able to learn those skills to bring into your culinary experience.
yeah, I learned so much in that restaurant. That's why I'm very grateful for the time I had there, and I brought all those practices to this business and to Bodega Loya, and that's why I love Bodega Loya, because they're a place where they're growing all their food here, and
Yes.
that's such an amazing thing, and I have to give thanks to my cousin because he has a farm out in Santa Fe, New Mexico.
Okay.
And one day he asked me for some help and we to make his business plan. So I helped him
Okay.
make his business plan, and in there it was talking about organic and aquaponics and how to grow vegetables certain ways. And I was like,
Mhm.
what? That blew my mind. I'm like, wow. And the soil, the quality of the soil.
So they
And
are they kind of like forward thinking about that in Santa Fe, like the
yeah,
sand soil
Santa
and things.
Fe, I think they're very advanced,
That's
in their
great.
culinary because yeah, they have like restaurant week and they have all these amazing things, edible. You see more edible flowers over there and more microgreens and
Hmm.
yeah, Santa Fe is such it's a culinary hub, definitely.
But
And El Paso's getting there too. I mean, we have amazing restaurants here at
we really
Charlatan,
do.
and so many new places are opening up.
We really do. And so he told you to he was having you make a business plan. He asked you to make a business plan. And then did that connect with Bodega? Is that how you found out about Bodega Loya or?
Um, Bodega Loya started because when I graduated college, I went to
Hmm.
go work in the oil fields,
Hmm.
and
You went to go do what?
I worked in the oil fields. So
Okay.
yeah, I graduated from UTEP. It was degree engineering leadership, which is a new degree offered.
Okay.
They're just trying to make engineers more well-rounded, how to work with others, to realize that money's a big factor when you're creating things. Business skills, things
Hmm.
like that. So I graduated and I went to go work in the oil fields. I did I was doing engineering in the oil fields, and I was just like, it didn't feel right to me, and I wanted it to even it out somehow. So when I would come back home from Odessa, I looked for volunteering opportunities, and there was a volunteering opportunity in a farm. So I was like, okay, let me check it out. So I went, and we were just digging the mounds. We were doing the mounds, and that
And
was
that was
my
at
first.
Bodega Loya?
That was Bodega Loya, yeah.
That was
That was like
like when they
when,
were just getting started?
yeah, they were just getting started. Yeah,
Wow. So you
yeah,
really
yeah.
you're really deep in the roots of, pun intended,
Kind
of
of,
Bodega
yeah.
Loya.
Well, that was like one time I volunteered. Right? I don't want to say I was there since, and I helped
Uh,
them, but no, but that
there
was
was
my
a one
introduction
day?
to them. Yeah, one day. Yeah, and then
Okay, that's still cool though. That's still cool. Okay, and then I
that
love
was
that.
that opened my eyes. Like, oh, we have farms here nearby. Like that,
Yeah.
and they grow food. Like, I want to go there.
Yeah.
Um, and then it's like a small world because the son of the owners, Marty Loya and Ralph Loya,
Hmm.
their son Andres Loya, I worked with him at Crave. And so
Ah.
we connected one time. He's like, "Hey, why don't you?" I loved during COVID. I was making food videos, and I would make episodes like, "Hey, welcome to Diego's Kitchen. Today
Where were
we're
you
making
making these
dishes
at?
on TikTok and Instagram." And yeah,
Really?
so
How did I miss
yeah, yeah,
that?
yeah.
Okay, now I'm
People,
like, let me look at your TikTok. Hold on, how did I miss
yeah.
that?
Yeah,
Uh,
yeah.
that's
But yeah,
amazing.
they're on
Cool.
there. They're on TikTok,
Okay.
and so
I'm gonna take a look for sure, and we'll make sure
mhm.
that we drop all of your handles too in the
Yeah, yeah, I'll
descriptions and
send it
stuff.
to you. And
Okay.
so Andres came to me and he's like, "Why don't you make videos for us for Bodega?" And I'm like, "Okay, I can do that. I can do that." So they would give me ingredients, and then I would, make a video. And to me, that's my style of food. That's what I love. So they would give me random ingredients, and so I'm like, okay, well, what the heck am I gonna make with this? And I would create stuff,
I
and
love that.
that's the same thing I do with the experience.
Okay.
You know, the experience is the food menu is not set. The food menu is designed on whatever's in season right now. Whatever ingredients, call to me when I see them. And I don't really, for the most part, I try not to plan because, just like that pop-up we did at Bodega, I saw they're like, well, we have tomatoes, we have figs, we have this. I'm like, okay, well, I'll just make some sort of salad bowl. And
Oh,
so far it's
that
worked
quinoa
nicely,
chicken
thank
bowl.
goodness.
I dream about that. Gosh,
Yeah,
and
that one.
I didn't even get to
Yeah.
eat all of
No,
it
I'm glad
because
you liked it.
I was upset because I didn't get to eat all of it because
Yeah.
I went to an event right
Oh
after. I
man,
had to host La Parada that night,
I know.
and I
Yeah.
left it, and I think I left it in my car in accident because it was and I was like, oh man, because that was. But
Uh,
I ate a lot of it there, and whoa, what a great
yeah, that
you did
no,
you
and
that was
and you
incredible.
came as well.
Yeah,
Thank you
I
for
came.
coming to that event too.
Yeah, and here, okay, so here's a fun little full circle thing. And here and also this kind of will answer your question about what the market wants, okay? Because I
Hmm.
do want to make sure I answer that. But here's the deal. Okay, you are the kind of person who is sharing what you're doing, just like you just said, your TikTok, you're expressing yourself, your true
Exactly.
authentic self. Okay. Like you said, you were doing the oil engineering, it didn't feel right. So you went with your intuition, you went and, gave back to Mother Earth. You know what I mean? In a sense,
Yeah,
is what you're
exactly.
doing.
Exactly. Yeah.
And which is beautiful. And I mean, it's the least we can do, right?
Yeah.
It's the least we could do. And then that serendipitous event, which was something that you were doing, but look how it's fed you. Look how the community,
No,
the
really, it's amazing.
soil, the ground has fed you back in
Mhm.
return.
The
And
people, the
your
people too.
people,
Mhm.
and that's what is possible. That's what's happening here in El Paso, and that's what's possible here in El Paso. And imagine we can drag people out of their drag them
I
out of
know,
their
yeah.
house and out of the McDonald's lines. And imagine they came to
I
Bodega
know, yeah.
Loya and got a chicken, instead of going to
The chicken
Chipotle.
bowl. Yeah.
What if they came out to Bodega Loya and got a chicken bowl of fresh
When
figs? And
on
those types of connections are just that's just it is an experience, and it's one
Mhm.
that I believe is very, very important. But what I was going to say is that so it kind of goes back full circle because they I Bodega Loya has an Instagram presence, right?
Mhm.
They're on Instagram. I found out about them. I'm pretty sure I found out about them on Instagram. I saw, something. I don't
Mhm.
know how. I'm just in the algorithm, because
Yeah,
I've been
found you.
looking at a lot of because I've
El
been,
Paso local,
yeah, El Paso local
organic.
food,
Yeah, yeah,
organic,
yeah.
the whole
Mhm.
night. And because I'm like, I want to know farms. So I saw that and I'm like, oh, they're open on, maybe it was Cafecito, may have been the first.
Cafecito's great too, and we haven't even brought that one up. Yeah.
Yeah. So I think, so
Mhm.
it's like, so I was like, okay. So I saw that and I'm like, oh, I can go on a Friday from 12 to 5. I'm going to go. I'm gonna make a trip of it, and we go and
Mhm.
drive out there and, Socorro, it's different space. And so I
It's a whole
went.
different little world, isn't it? Yeah.
It's beautiful too. It's beautiful out there and it's so spacious and yeah, it lets you appreciate our land. And so
Mhm.
I went there. I had an absolute blast. Ralph is so sweet. Him and I think her name
Marty.
Lauren? No,
Marty.
I didn't meet Marty then. It was the cashier. She
Oh, okay.
I can't remember her name off the top. I want to say
I think.
Lauren,
Oh no, it wasn't. Yeah, okay. Yeah,
but
I
I
don't know
could be
what
wrong.
you're talking Hmm.
But Marty wasn't there, but I shopped, because that was the other thing. I'm like, I want to, because a lot of farmers markets here I noticed don't have food. I'm like, how's it a farmers?
Yeah,
I'm
that
like,
happened
how's
to
it
me
a?
too.
I'm
Yeah,
like, that's a
yeah,
problem. That's kind of a
exactly.
problem, we could. So when I'm like, oh my God, I can get fresh, real organic food. I'm like, I'm gonna go. So I went, but
Hmm.
then, so here's the full circle moment. So then I went to, I think about a month and a half later, I went to an event that was for the city of El Paso and Pioneers 21, and that was at Blazing Tree Brewery, and that's where we met, but we actually didn't meet there. I was just being
No.
loud. I was just being loud. No, I was kidding.
No, no, you weren't being out. No, that's where when I saw you and I was we were there sitting and I enjoy watching the speakers and I know and I saw you and I'm like, wow, whoever that is, she's super engaged. She she like gives this energy that makes you feel motivated, and I'm sure the speakers really appreciated you too, because you gave the speakers, more I don't know the word. What's the word? I mean, you
Now I think
motivated them to like, yeah,
engagement
boost
is
yourself.
is it
Yeah, you're
because
engaging with them, and I was just like, wow, that person's amazing. I need to go connect with her, and then, yeah, I couldn't. I was connecting with others, and then by the time I looked at you were already gone, and I was like, no,
and somehow we
but
found each other on
yeah, on
Instagram. You
Instagram,
found me because you
yeah,
were like,
yeah,
"Hey, I didn't get a chance to see you," and I'm like, "Oh, that's so awesome! Like that was really cool."
hmm,
So we connected since then. Then I found out that you do work with Bodega Loya. I'm like, I just
hmm.
found Bodega
I was
Loya.
just
So
there.
yeah, I was like, that's so cool. So that's kind of how it all went full circle. And then, of course, coming
No one.
around to your experience, your creep video
Hmm.
debut, you covered the song Creep and you did a launch last week, and then to have Blazing Tree there, that was really cool too. And
Yeah, yeah,
they're an award-winning brew house here in
yeah,
El
yeah.
Paso. So it's just really inspiring and encouraging to see all this movement and to be a part of it too. What do you think?
No, it's been amazing, and I wanted to add, when I wanted to reach out to you, it wasn't with intentions of what can I get out of this person. It was intentions of, wow, that person seems really cool. I want to connect with them and see what their story is, and share my story too. It was like intention of sharing, and growth, and look at us now, we're here having this conversation, and I'm so grateful that, that we're able to both benefit from this, and I'm benefiting, I'm doing what I'm doing, you're doing what you're doing, and we're both benefiting together, and I just wanted to let the people know, like, connect with others and be yourself, and beautiful things will happen. It just works
I
out.
love that. It does work out. It really does. And you have, the experiences that I have participated
Hmm.
in that you've invited me to have
Hmm.
been great.
Yeah,
And by
thanks.
the way, these few experiences I've went by myself and I did not feel alone. It was just the perfect
Exactly.
place for someone to go to just experience something, to experience,
Hmm.
to just be, and
To
that
just
be
be.
enough.
Yeah.
And
Hmm.
I really, 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 really love that. Of course, I could talk to
Yeah.
you forever. And of
Yeah.
course I will. We've got a lot of work to do and a lot of
Some
opportunities, I'm
music.
sure.
We gotta work. I think next week me and my bro were talking. We'll probably schedule something so we can make a song with you or something. Because yeah, he said
Okay.
he's down.
I
So
am
we'll do that.
too. And I mean, your
Uh,
taste is exquisite, and that's with music, that's with creating an experience, that's with food,
no,
and
thank you
that's
so
with
much.
the beer. And you made a custom like coffee drink, and you guys had really nice
Yeah,
tequilas and
yeah.
everything there.
Hmm.
Yeah, you have exquisite taste. So I'm
Hmm.
honored that you reached out, and I'm honored to introduce you to the audience here, and to have
Thank you.
been
Thank
able
you
to
so much.
have a 5-star conversation with you, because I know that if nothing else, people are going to want to know more about how to find you and how to hire you. So just let everyone know really quick, where is the best place to find Diego Lucero?
Yeah, guys. So everything is at Field XP. Everything, YouTube, Instagram, TikTok. So you can find us there. And I know even now the EXP might still be a little confusing, so I'll just do a quick summary of what it is. And
Yes.
it's a fusion of music and food and art and spirits, you know, all your senses. Imagine all your senses being enlightened in some sort of way, you know. And we do that through YouTube videos. We do that through events. You know, if you want a private event, we can do that. We do pop-ups. We're gonna do the next one. Bodega Loya just text us, so we're gonna do on the first Thursday. Yeah, first Thursday. No, last Thursday. We'll put it up, but yeah, it's just food, music, art, and watch our videos on YouTube. It's even the videos and experience. You know, you feel like you're there. That was the point when we were recording it. We're like, we want to make people feel like they're tasting the food, they're watching the music. You know, so yeah, check us out. We appreciate all the love for sure.
Yeah, it was some kind of like tuna you were making, right? And that you was it like a sushi, a sashimi
It
or
was tuna.
nigiri?
It was tuna. Yeah, I mean, I guess sashimi like a tostada, but and actually we'll say that for another episode. But the ingredients I used there were local too. You know, from a
The
guy who
green
makes
onions.
tortillas, and the microgreens were from some people who grow here and sell to the fine dining restaurants in El Paso. So there's so much. Yeah, I mean,
That's
it's
amazing.
yeah, it's just a
Wow.
video, but we put so much thought and love into everything. So I hope you guys can watch it and enjoy it.
And locally sourced. That's a big thing
Yeah,
for you. That's amazing. And
yeah,
there were that was the I felt that throughout everything, and that's why I messes with you, Diego. That's why, you know what I mean. I'm excited that we're connected, and I'm just looking
no, yeah,
forward
me
to
too.
all that you're
Me
going to be
too.
doing, and you know, and all that you're
Mhm.
going to be creating, the experiences that you're going to be creating here in El Paso and beyond.
Yeah, no, thank you so much. Thank you so much. Yeah, there's a lot. I hope everyone gets to be a part of at least one of the experiences somehow.
Absolutely, we'll be dropping your information. So thank you so much. And hey, folks, make sure that you follow. Uh, Make sure that you follow Diego Lucero, and it's to feel the experience.
Hmm.
Everything's at feel the exp, right?
EXP. Yeah, at
Feel
field the
at.
EXP. Yeah. Hmm.
Wait, hold on. Let me let me make sure.
Yeah, at field the EXP. Yeah.
Gotcha.
And
Feel
on
the
YouTube,
exp.
yeah, you know, since we're just starting on
Hmm.
YouTube, it's easier to if you just put at in the search box, put at field the EXP, and we
Okay.
pop up. One of the first ones, but yeah, yeah,
Perfect. I
check
need
us
to
out.
figure out how to do that, like when I'm looking for mine, because I didn't know if you put at and then the
Hmm.
name,
Yeah, it
it'll
popped
pop
up.
right up.
I didn't know
All
that
right.
either until I made the account.
That's awesome. But
Yeah.
you know what? Thank you so much for being here. I think I accidentally pinned my pin still. Um, remove the pin. Okay. All right. But you know what? Here, and this is the other thing, folks. You know, I hope that this conversation between us just inspires you not only to connect with Diego and the experience, but to see what's around the corner. Go to your local restaurant. Go one right
Mhm,
down the street.
mhm.
You know, that's something that you can do right away, or just reach out to someone that you see out and about and just make a new friend. You never know what's going to happen. So
Yeah,
that's what we want to inspire
yeah.
here. All right, awesome. Well, thank you all so much and have a great day. And again, this is Michelle M. Trey Hollis signing off with 5 Star Conversations in the Sun City. Peace and blessings.